Yeah, there we go.
Okay, can anyone see? Okay. Hey everyone, it's time to eat the magic. There we go. Now it's looking live. Hey everyone, it's time to eat the magic live on the internets. We went to Halloween Treat, so we have the actual bag that they're selling this year. I'm not sure how well you guys can see it on the camera, but you got the main 5 there, all in little costumes. It's pretty cool. It's nice and large too. You can see here, it's a pretty big bag. This thing is chock full of stuff. We will get to that in a minute. But I want to talk about something else. For those of you who are AP pass holders, down at it's the Starcade, right? I think it's the Starcade area. You can grab yourself a little pin and a postcard. Let's see a little better there. And it's kind of a cool little, nice little bonus. It's upside down. Good. Is the button upside down too? Thank you. So it's kind of a nice little bonus for your annual pass person, and they have a line, candy line, just for annual pass people as well. What's kind of cool for all you pass holders out there, you can get some extra little bonuses. It's nothing huge, but just like even how most of these go, you're usually going to just get only a handful of little bonuses, but it's kind of cool. Bag you have to get purchased. How much does the bag go for? $5? So it's only $5. It's a big bag. You can use it all year round. Like I said, nice, pretty design. There's a shot of the side there. And I'm not sure if we hit every candy line, but we sure hit a lot of them. This is how full our bag is. And it is about having topple over. So as you can see, not everything is candy. There's a lot of other secondary things in here. Now are we going to dump all this somewhere? Or are we just going to pull out? How are we going to do this? All right. So we got like your old-fashioned Pirates booty here. I know a lot of people like this stuff. I think I had this only once, and it was last year when we went to this. And I was like, what the hell is Pirates booty? And then I had it. So it's like Cheetos or something, as I recall. What we got here? Yeah, more of that. So the Sun Chips, in case you need more carbs. This is a little graham cracker, guys. That's cool. Got here little crispy fruit crisps. These things are gross. I remember last year. Unless you like dried fruit, then they're pretty good. That's up to you. That's your take. I'm not a dried. I don't like fruit jerky. A little piece of licorice. Realized there's not enough room for all these things. And these are a couple standard candies. Peanut M&Ms. Cheez-Its. This looks like a mini. There's kind of mini candies here. It's another one of those. So we got here that's unique. It's more of the crisps. I know the excitement of me going, God, it's like a third Pirates. Jeez, we have a lot of those. Even more of them. Let me get some other cool stuff. Okay, so my favorite, well, one of my favorites, Snickers. Ooh, carrots. And it's almost the equivalent of getting the rock from Peanuts Halloween. So
That's next week.
I know it's next week. More Cheez-Its. It's easy to pull out all these like bigger. Ooh, this looks good. This is apple slices. Might as well give me a rock. More Sun Chips. Table's overflowing at this point. More Cheez-Its. Got some napkins in here. So there's something different. There's more graham crackers. Oh, it's raining. Oh, Kit Kat. You got a little. What happens?
You accidentally ended the stream.
Shit. Are we back?
Yeah, we're back.
Sorry, that was too much candy stuff to go through here. More apples. Let's find something else unique in here. Oh, found goldfish crackers. Let's start dumping stuff on the ground. That's your standard little chocolate bars. Mini Rice Krispie treats. That's pretty strong. Some more parrots breeding. Like we need to be dumping all this into a different bag.
Sure got a lot of booty at a Halloween party.
We did. Sour Patch Kids. I know there's like 5 people out there that like these. So. Fruit Crisps.
Do you have any plans to check out any of the Halloween food at Disney?
Yes. Basically, my goal is to avoid any of the churros because half the time it's just dipping sauce. And while one of my first videos was the s'mores churro, which is just a churro with dipping sauce, which was good dipping sauce, don't get me wrong, but just you could do more than that. They do have some that are like alternate colored, whoop-de-doo. So I'm not super strong on those because to me it's kind of like reviewing a hot dog. Like there's only so many variations of hot dog you can really kind of talk about. And then, I mean, granted, obviously I just did the Angry Dogs one, but those dogs actually had heat to them. There's differentiation between the 2 types of dog and the different sauce options versus, this is just a regular hot dog that has even some Hershey bars. Mini Hershey's always the best. You just want pure chocolate. God, how much Pirates Booty is there? Are they a freaking sponsor? This is like weird. It's like goldfish crackers, but they're like crackers, not the little small goldfish. I don't think I've ever seen this before. Oh, is it? Yes, it is. It's Nerds. Somebody's gonna steal all those.
Yoink.
Skittles. Nerds are like a standard thing at my family's household. But it's just like, yep. Milky Way. All right. So many dupes. God, it's like doing a gotcha here. You have a bunch of dupes. Baby Ruth. It's always pretty weak in my book. Oh, the rare, the few, the proud, the peppermint patty. These things are so underrated. Just gonna put that over there. I'm eating that. Regular M&Ms. Oh God, this weird Airheads taffy garbage. Oh, this looks like was one of the white chocolate Hershey ones? Was the cookies and cream Hershey? Can't tell. Be more light. It's the cookies and cream Hershey. These are amazing. Love cookies and cream Hershey's. Butterfinger. No one better lay a finger on it.
Out of all the trails, what was your favorite of the Halloween treat trails?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I mean, the Star Wars Launch Bay 1 is always kind of fun because it actually leads you into the launch bay and through the launch bay, which is kind of cool. It's not a lot of things that do that, but I think the favorite, Golden Horseshoe. They actually have a bunch of like skeletons at the tables, like a little corpse thing on the stage, and you kind of go through the restaurant and around. And I do kind of like that. I like anytime you can actually utilize part of the park in a different way. I really do appreciate that. And I think Golden Horseshoe is a cool one. If you're going, you have to check that out. Let's find anything else unique in here. We're hitting near the bottom, so I think we're just going to keep finding duplicates of stuff. At least this gets all the fruit and vegetables out of here.
I'll take all the fruit and vegetables.
God, there's so many carrots. I actually like carrots. I'm just being a jerk for this video. Ooh, the crunch. The elusive crunch. It's the first one I've seen in here. What's this? Another Hershey. A lot of Rice Krispies treats here, too.
And this is also your first time watching the Frightfully Fun Parade. What did you think of that?
Flight Parade, it was kind of cool. It begins with Ichabod Crane kind of going down. You got the little narrator saying, "Oh, you'll lose your head if you take too long." Mickey and Minnie dancing around. They have a little routine they do, and it's cute. But the kind of cooler part is just having like some of the villains on parade. So you got Hades there. You got was it Maleficent was there, I think. You have a whole Nightmare Before Christmas thing with Jack, doing his whole speech about Halloween and what have you. And I think Sally's there and a few of the other characters. Kind of fun how they do it all. Oh, there's a really cool Haunted Mansion one with like the dancing ghosts and stuff like that. That was actually really cool. It's Haunted Mansion, of course, it has to be there. I think they do a pretty good job of it, just kind of being able to have the villains out there. I mean, normally it's always just like 14 different princesses and then maybe Peter Pan. And this time around, it's a little more fun to have the villains kind of show up. Having seen the Pixar Play Parade, which is the current one they have going on, I actually like this one a lot more. Probably because I'm not fond of people spraying hoses at me. So yeah, and because I like the villains, it's really cool.
Who's your favorite villain?
Depends
three.
on my mood. Okay, top three, not in any order. Wicked Queen, because she is the second hottest woman in her kingdom, and she gets the job done. Speaking of getting the job done, Maleficent probably number two. She gets the job done. I mean, she dies in the end, but they both die in the end actually. But they both get the job done. they both poisoned the princess they were trying to get rid of. They should have been a little more effective at it, but one was just more of a revenge scheme, and the other one, more of just I may get my daughter. And of course, Hades, because while James Woods may have gone insane in his older years, he is so charismatic and funny and just has so much life. And every time I get to hear his voice on like a Kingdom Hearts game, or anytime I rewatch Hercules, heck, even in the Hercules TV series and the episodes he shows up in are all just like, oh my God, it's James Woods doing James Woods, and it's great. So I think those would probably be my top three. I know a lot of people like some of the modern people. A lot of the modern villains just don't do much for me. But I will give an honorable mention to, what's his name, Dr. Facilier. I think he's actually kind of he has a cool villain song. He doesn't really do much in his movie, and he's kind of wasted, but he does have a cool villain song, and he was actually on the parade as well. Omitted from the parade in terms of villains is, what's his name from Hunchback?
Oh, he was on the other side of the float, though. We only saw one side of the float. Yeah, Frollo was on the other side of the viewing, and we saw from like one side, which had a couple villains.
Yeah, okay, I didn't know he was on the other side of that. Because Hellfire gets used, or an instrumental version of Hellfire is used during the fireworks, which I always loved. Like, they just won't use the lyrics from that one. It's a family-friendly park. We can't use a song from our PG-13 movie. Or it was a PG movie, excuse me. Was it PG?
It's PG.
Yeah, because I know it wasn't like Black Cauldron. I think it hit the PG mark. But he's actually a pretty good villain. It's just kind of weirdness of adaptation, I think, gets more problematic with him. But I do like he has a good villain song, but I don't think I'd put him in. I don't think he compares as much. He's not quite as successful. He like gaslit a deformed man and then succeeds at nothing else. So. But
overall thoughts on Halloween treat this year, since you focus more on doing Halloween trails and all things Halloween that the park during the daytime doesn't quite offer?
Well, the one thing I'm going to say is because I'm an annual pass holder, the idea for, oh my God, I need to go on this ride or that ride is completely eliminated from me this time around. And this is the first time being an annual pass holder and going to Halloween treat in as far as I can remember. So if that's the case, you don't have to. Yes, it's cool to go on Space Mountain in like with a 5-minute wait. A couple of the other rides, Matterhorn I think was shut down, and I think they closed Pirates early for some reason. But I know I've gotten other years where Pirates and Indiana Jones are like, boom, you're on. And usually they do some fun stuff on Jungle Cruise. I do kind of lament not doing Jungle Cruise because they tend to play around a bit more. But for the most part, I don't really lament missing rides, and I kind of like the atmosphere. I'm kind of mixed on. There's certain things of it I do like. Some things I kind of like are like you could have done a little bit more. I'm glad this time around the fog machine was working for around the lake because that always has some nice atmosphere to it. But I remember they used to have like these spotlights of like little light images on the grounds and stuff, and those weren't there this year. So that was kind of odd. The music has a bigger variety of music because I remember last year wanting to lose my mind if I heard Monster Mash one more time. So that was good. Adding a few more songs in there really helps. I would have liked a few more decorations outside of the rides, and that could be something I could just go for the whole time around. Because like when it gets to Christmas, they go like all out of Christmas stuff everywhere. I mean, Cars Land completely changes. I know it's the other park, but it's still kind of still run by the same people. And I could have used a few more little monsters everywhere. I mean, I like Ghost Galaxy. You hear little ghosts screaming every once in a while, which kind of threw me off. I guess I didn't remember that from previous years. So I'm just walking through Tomorrowland and I'm like, what the heck is that?
It's a dark entity.
So there's, But I could use more. I mean, I'm not saying you got to put like, I don't know. Lost my train of thought there. I'm sorry. The one thing I do like is they had some face characters you don't normally see. We got to see Baloo. We got to see King Louie. I think you said you saw Turk from Tarzan. So there's some cool stuff there. I mean, obviously my number 1 and number 2 choices, not in that order, would be Donald and Goofy from Kingdom Hearts, because those are technically alternate costumes. It counts. But I'm happy of seeing some Jungle Book characters. You never get to see Jungle Book characters. It's just like that one time where they randomly had Marie out, and it's like, what the Marie? What are you doing here? Just gonna look through here, see what else we can find. Some taffy thing here. Another peppermint patty. Butterfinger. I think it's a fun thing to kind of do. It's a lot more fun if you have a group, but just kind of be simpatico in your group. You know, like you don't want to be in a group wherein one person wants to go through the park one way and another person wants to do it another way. And if you're all going to go together, you're either going to go as a ride group or you're going to go as a candy gatherers or set times for stuff. Saying, like our group really wanted to see the parade. I hadn't seen the parade before, so I was like, fine, why not? Gives me a chance to rest my legs. And so we did that. Now, for me, I always like seeing the fireworks. Not only do I like the music, and because it has unique voiceover, you got Jack Skellington, Oogie Boogie, Maleficent. There's 1 or 2 others who are interjecting in there.
Ghost Toast.
Ghost Toast, thank you. So you have a few characters like that coming in that you don't normally hear during the fireworks. Normally during the fireworks, it's just fireworks. It's almost not even like a, sometimes you'll have Mickey or something, or you'll hear a character voice before they do the music for a specific movie. But this time, actually having a handful of the villains make some commentary was kind of cool, and I really dug that. And I like it. I'm a fireworks person. What can I say? But the group wanted to do the parade, and I was fine with that. But you don't want to be in a group where you're sitting for the parade, and one person's like, "I want to get candies. I want to go on Splash Mountain." Like you want to be able to like have the group either say, "Okay, these 2 or 3 of us are going to do the parade. The rest of you go do rides or whatever you want to do." Like find a way to kind of agree with people. Second thing I'd really point out is to kind of start playing meeting up. If you divide the party, meet up with the old school rules of we're going to meet at X location at X time. Like saying, hey, we're all going to meet up for these people want to go do Candy Lines. These people want to go do Space Mountain, and we'll meet up at Pizza Ports, when we're both done. And that way you're going to be somewhere that everyone's going to know where to find. Or let's say some people want to hit Indiana Jones and other people want to hit Pirates, but then you guys both want to go and meet up at like Jungle Cruise or something like that. Then, whoever finishes first just waits in front of the Jungle Cruise sign. And once the other people get together, you're going to get on those boats relatively quickly, probably within less than 10 minutes with Jungle Cruise. It's only thing that slows Jungle Cruise down is they only have X amount of boats. So you're going to be limited by that. But, you're still going to get on really, really fast. And I'm just seeing basically dupes at this point in terms of the candies. So still hoping to find something weird or unique at the bottom here, but I don't think it's going to happen. I'm getting hungry. That's for sure. I'm going to pig out on a bunch of candy and stuff, which I really shouldn't do. I got a convention coming up where I got to be all pretty for all the ladies at the dance or whatever it is I'm supposed to do. I don't know. I'm going to say this right here. I don't particularly like Airheads. I don't really like Taffy either. Does that make me weird? I don't know. This reminds me of back when I was a kid. Me and my brother, after we do trick-or-treating, would go through and kind of, there's certain things he didn't like. 100 grand. It's like the best. But if those who've never had 100 grand, it's basically like, think of a Crunch Bar, like fused with a Snickers. It is just like caramel and those crunchy things and chocolate, and it's so good. So good. I was introduced to these like when I was in high school. I can't believe it took me that long to actually get introduced to these things. We were at like a store and, whatever. And they always have the candy little thing there. And my dad was like, 100 grand. I'm like, what's 100 grand? He's like, you have never had 100 grand? And grabbed 2 of them. My brother and I had to like split one, and he ate one all for himself. So it's pretty cool. Overall, I really do enjoy it. And I've had years where like the only thing that's really hindered my enjoyment of the event has been the weather. One year I went as Dick Tracy, which is many, many layers. And I'll take this bag down now. There's a little bit of stuff left with all dupes. And it's a trench coat, it's a vest, it's a button-up shirt, it's a tie, it's a hat. And it was almost, even at night, it was still like, I think in the 90 degrees or the high 80s. It was so humid, it killed me. And I think it's the only time I've had that, or if you're with a group that might make you a little uncomfortable for one reason or another, that could be something to be aware of. But for the most part, I've always really enjoyed it. We've had some fun stories come out of it. I kind of miss it when it was at California Adventure. I'm going to actually say that right now, and I know a lot of people are like, whoa, but follow me on this, people. One, imagine being able to go on Monsters After Dark with like a 5-minute or less wait. That is awesome. Two, just being in cosplay and doing the Cars racetrack. That actually could be a lot of fun, and especially if you're going as a character who might need to be a sports car character, dude or girl or whatever.
Sugar Rush.
Yeah, it's a good example there. And some of the locations work really awesome in the dark or during dusk for photos for cosplays. The Grizzly Mountain area, the wherever they call it, the
Redwood
Forest
Creek
Rangers
Challenge Trail. We did my first Halloween treat. We did a Pokemon shoot there.
Yeah,
and I was Dawn. And then a couple of years later, you and I, we did Akia and Shiki over at Tower of Terror, and we had that mansion-y background. And I'm not sure if any of our subscribers are familiar with Melty Blood, but they do live in a large mansion that has creepy things around.
Yeah.
And just getting that old architecture in the background also really fit our characters.
And not only that, but if you're doing something and you have like an old Hollywood type character, you got that Hollywood sign area there for as long as that's going to last. And you had a lot of kind of fun things that with a short wait would actually be really cool, and a lot of great locales for shooting. I mean, especially now with Pixar Pier, if you're doing any kind of Pixar-themed cosplay, that would have been a really cool place to go because there have been some great backdrops and what have you. I understand why they put it in Disneyland. One, there's more room. That's a key one. And two, the parades and stuff like that all tend to, the fireworks, everything is from the main park. So if you're in California Adventure, it's kind of awkward for them to do the fireworks and have this unique, fireworks show while it's going off in Disneyland. On the other hand, you wouldn't have to close down Disneyland for regular paying customers or even APers who want to do some Disneyland in the middle of the week or during the weekend. And instead, you could, cut off California Adventure, which I mean, no offense to DCA fans out there, but who really cares? There, I said it. And I think there's cool places that just to shoot at night. Especially if you're in cosplay. I mean, even if you're bounding, there's some cool places there to shoot at night. We've done that plenty of times. What you really lack in California Adventure is because it's smaller, obviously. Candy trails, would be fewer of those. Parade would be a little more awkward. It's raining candies. So there's a few things in those categories that need to be, obviously. I understand why it's in the main park. I'm just saying that, like, part of me misses it being in DCA. And I'd love to be able to just do Monsters After Dark because at least that's kind of horror related versus doing Haunted Mansion Holiday, which is Christmas related in September. Yay. But yeah, we went the first day, I believe, right?
Yes, opening night.
Yep, opening night. It was good. It wasn't very crowded. It never is. This seemed like the same crowd I've seen in October. I'm sure if you get into like later October and the closer you get to Halloween, the more people are there. Those are also the more expensive tickets, so just be aware of that. Weekends are also more expensive. Going on a weekday is great, especially if you can get there a little earlier and you can do whatever photos you want to. If you have a character that would work really well for the Sleeping Beauty's Castle or work well in Toontown. In fact, one of my regrets is when I did Dick Tracy, we due to circumstances, we couldn't get into Toontown. I wanted to get a photo by the Toontown jail. I thought that'd be funny, and didn't happen. Probably not gonna wear Dick Tracy did one of these things, mainly because if the weather decides to be a jerk, it'll just beat me up, and I don't particularly want to get beat up by the weather. This time it worked really cool. Now I'm doing puns. Oh! It was really cool because I actually chose a character who didn't have that many layers. I went as Sieg from Fate Apocrypha, for those who are familiar with the Fate Apocrypha series, and that was significantly better. He has a button-up shirt, but it's an undone collar. It's a vest. It's pants. No gloves. No, I had to wear a wig, which I'm not a huge fan of wigs, but whatever. I can deal with it. I'm a big boy, but it was fun. There's a couple of cool places to get photos there, and I think the ones I've seen have turned out pretty well. So, yeah, I'm not sure much else I can really say about it. I do recommend it. You can get the various Halloween foods during Halloween Treat, but you can get those basically anytime during the season. So don't go thinking, oh my gosh, I need to go and have this churro, and I need to have this unique cookie and this and that. While I was there, one of our people couldn't finish her pumpkin fudge. Yeah, thank you.
Jolly Holiday Bakery.
And ended up having some pumpkin fudge. That was pretty good. It comes down to that position of, do you like the flavor of pumpkin? If you answer yes, you'll enjoy the pumpkin fudge.
Do you like the flavor of pumpkin, Jared?
I do. Not all the time, but I do. It's very rich. Like, I can't even imagine eating the full block. I think that would be a bit much. I can understand why the person we were traveling with didn't eat the full block. I wouldn't have eaten the full block. So, in fact, I've had that before when I had the horchata fudge during Festival of Holidays. I did the same thing where I had to share that because otherwise I would have died. It's just too much. Not that it's so big. It's just it's so rich. It just you can actually feel yourself getting fatter as you eat it. So you don't have to worry. If you're an AP person, don't make the park foods the priority. Make the candy. Make the short lines for the rides. Make the parade, the fireworks, those things that you can't see otherwise. Make those the priority. If you're not an annual pass person, I would recommend possibly even skipping lunch and going in with a bit more of an appetite if you want to really try a bunch of different Halloween-themed Disney foods. Although be aware they are mostly desserts. We had lunch before going in. It was actually a big lunch, so it actually kept us going the whole time. I think the only thing we ended up having there is a jungle julep. I think that's it.
Yeah, just a jungle julep.
Yeah.
It's enough to keep you going.
Jungle julep is great, by the way. I did a review of that a while ago, but for refreshers, it is a slushy drink. It's a slushy. It's mint. It's a little bit of citrus orange in there. They actually improved it this time around. It has a little sprig of mint in it. It has a umbrella, has a little slice of orange. So they actually add a little bit of extra into it now, which is pretty cool. And it's one of the best items to get.
And it was an exclusive Halloween item last year, and they just moved it to the permanent menu. Yes,
that as well. And because it's a thicker drink, it'll keep you going. It'll cool you off if it's hot. It wasn't really that hot for us, but when we had them during Adventureland Day, those were lifesavers. That kept us alive. Granted, I mean, if you're not an AP person and you have not had Dole Whip, make that a priority. Unless you hate pineapple, then do not make it a priority. But if you like or love pineapple, you gotta have Dole Whip. Even more so than I'd say some of the Halloween treats. Because a lot of times it's a cookie shaped like a bat and it's covered in chocolate. It's good. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be bad. I haven't had it, but just for me, that's not what I think of. As a foodie, I want something a bit more unique. I can get a chocolate covered cookie. I can get alternate colored churros don't do much for me, but when they have things where it's like, oh, it's a special kind of sundae they're serving at Gibson Girl, and I think it is. It's like a special sundae or something. I know there's something at Gibson Girl that's a little more unique, and I would go for that. Gibson Girl was closed. I don't know if it was closed the whole time, but when we got to Gibson Girl, it was closed. And be that in mind too. Some things are closed, so just don't go coming off a huge shopping list. But all the merch stores are open, so you can get your merch. And they have a ton of it too. So if you're not an AP person, like I said, your priorities are going to shift. If I didn't have when I did have an AP, I ended up really liking doing the rides because this was like my 1 or 2 times I'd go a year, and therefore let's do the rides. It wasn't so important for me to get the candy and what have you. When I got the pass, the candy and the parade and the fireworks, that was more of a priority to me. And I do recommend that for non-pass holders. Go for the rides and go for the foods that you want to try, either stuff you've seen in my blogs or just when you're passing by, whatever catches your fancy. There's going to be tons of things. I can't eat everything at the park, especially because my bias against alternate colored churros that taste exactly the same. So you have those options there. I'm not sure there's much else I can say. I can tell you that I enjoyed myself. It was exhausting. Kind of bummed me out that it closed at 11, and that was kind of a bummer. Maybe it's up to midnight if you're on the weekends, and it's especially a bummer because my group was right in front of Haunted Mansion to then be told, and we're closing, and it's like, yay, heading home without hitting Haunted Mansion. It's again, I prefer regular Haunted Mansion during this time, but it still feels like tradition to hit Haunted Mansion if you're in the park on for the Halloween thing. So it's kind of a bummer, but I think it balanced out for a lot of things that happened. Obviously, huge hoard of stuff here. Half of this is going to go to friends and family and what have you. I'm not eating all this, and yeah, so we still have another Halloween adventure coming up. We're going to be hitting. Not Scary Farm. That should be a lot of fun.
We have annual passes.
And we got the annual pass there, so we're actually going to hit it multiple times. Probably won't do a blog like this until maybe we've hit all the mazes or something.
Or maybe we could do like a blog per maze.
Per maze, yeah.
Maze group. We'll figure it out as it goes.
But I will be covering some of the food. They have a pumpkin funnel cake, I think was what it was.
No, it was a candy corn funnel cake.
Candy corn funnel cake. That's what it is. Thank you. So I might have to just gain a few extra pounds by doing that.
And we've also been recommended to do the buffet.
And the buffet has also been recommended, which is a special thing. You get a buffet. Sometimes the monsters show up, and you get, was it early access to Scary Farm?
Yes, you will get early access. So we're probably going to do that on a weekend.
Yeah, so you get your meal, you get your early access. Some of the monsters will be there. They don't have a special term for the monsters, right? They're just monsters?
Just monsters.
Okay, good. Because at what is it? Universal, they call them Scarectors, which is stupid. It is. That is dumb. So that's gonna be a lot of fun to go to. I'll be honest, I've never actually done Scary Farm. Never have. I've lived in Orange County for too long now, but I've never actually done it. Gotten nuts a ton of times. Never did Scary Farm. So. Also, I'm from Boston, so that's yeah. I've still lived in Orange County for way too long, so I'm standing by that one. So I think that's everything. Like I said, if you're going there, you got plenty of options. I hope you enjoy sun chips and apples. But it's not like I didn't get any candies here. In fact, you know what? Before I close it out, I'm going to grab a peppermint patty. So when this is over, a peppermint patty. It's the best candy.
And are you looking forward to check out the other things at California Adventure for Halloween, like Maximum Overdrive, aka Cars Land Halloween?
Yeah, Cars Land gets an overlay for every holiday. I'm waiting for Cars Land St. Patrick's Day. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of drunk driving. It's really sad. A lot of people die. Dark. It's really dark. Yeah, I want to hit Monsters After Dark. I didn't get to do that last year. Last year I did not have an annual pass. And so by the time I had an annual pass, Monsters After Dark was gone. So I want to hit Monsters After Dark. That's very much on the priorities list for me. So, because I've heard the song, and the song is awesome, and it's like a oh god, what's the band I'm thinking of? Motorhead. It's a Motorhead sound alike, and it's freaking awesome. So
I was headbanging during the whole ride when I did Monsters After Dark that one time.
And I'll be looking forward to getting photos by the big wall that surrounds Bugs Land. That'll be fun.
Stark Industries.
Yeah. I'm still standing. If they don't turn the Caterpillar ride into Ant-Man and his bug friends, I will be highly disappointed. I want that to be Instead of like Fat Caterpillar talking to you the whole time, it'll be Ant-Man going like, "Oh no, look out! There's a foot. Oh no, there's a box. Oh guys, oh look out!"
Also, we
I want
have
that.
our Halloween popcorn buckets out. Do you choose Oogie Boogie or a cauldron?
I'd go Oogie. Well, I'd have to see them, but my heart says Oogie Boogie. Or I'll just take my TIE Fighter and just get my TIE Fighter refilled. It's only a couple bucks. And
No, you can't get the TIE Fighter refilled. That's only specialty buckets during a certain time of year. They want you to catch them all.
But then what do I do with my old buckets?
Decoration. You're going to complain about having a TIE Fighter in your room.
No, I'm not going to complain about the TIE Fighter. My point is I'd like to, if I'm dressed in, say, Star Wars bound, have my TIE Fighter and go, okay, here's the $2 or whatever my popcorn costs. Can you put it in here instead of the standard container? That's all I want. I'm not asking them for a free refill because I have the TIE Fighter. I'm asking them to just put the popcorn in the TIE Fighter because it goes with my bound and I want to put it to use. Dang it. On the other hand, Oogie Boogie's pretty awesome. He's I would bound as him if I had enough lime green. I'd walk around being all fat and fabulous. This is my fabulous dance. I'm not going to dance. So thanks for joining me, and stay tuned. We're going to have some videos being posted that'll have some of the Halloween foods. Those are coming up. And, of course, the Knot stuff. And remember, until next time, don't forget to eat the magic. Oh, and like my Facebook page and all that stuff, too. That's also really awesome. And the YouTube, and the like and the subscribes, and so much stuff. It's all Eat the Magic. You can eat the magic on Instagram. You can eat the magic everywhere. Just if it's a social media zone, it probably has an Eat the Magic. And you should like it and awesome and yes.